Welcome. We're David and Hillary, and this is our movie preview of the movie Valiant One. If you haven't seen our movie previews before, we give you a good basic introduction to the plot of the movie, no spoilers, some content alerts so that you can make a good choice as to whether this is a movie for you or not. And we will also have a movie post view for the same movie that includes all the spoilers and all the things that you can watch after you watch the movie. But we welcome you. And for now, let's talk about Valiant One. This movie was released on January 31st, 2025. It's rated R for language and violence and has a runtime of about 1 hour, 26 minutes.
So the basic idea is a small group of soldiers. They're setting out to fix some military equipment that have been failing in the jungles of South Korea.
Right.
It's a helicopter crew plus 3 non-combat specialists and 1 tech specialist and 1 civilian tech specialist. They expect it to be quick with no enemy combatants at all.
Right. And we're not really military people, so we tried to describe those as accurately as possible. But that gives you the basic idea of what's happening there. So they get on the ground in the jungle, and they find the equipment that they need to fix, and they start working on it. But then there's an alert from home base that says, no, there's weather coming in. It's really bad. You got to get the heck up out of there. So abort. And they do. They don't want to, but they do. They get on the helicopter, they take off, and then that weather comes even faster than they hoped, and the helicopter crashes.
And unfortunately, they started their trip in South Korea. The weather has pushed them off, and they realize they have crash landed in North Korea.
Right.
So those who survive the crash, they have to find their way on foot through the jungle back to South Korea, because that's where the rescue will be. That's where they're gonna the meeting point to get lifted out.
Yeah, they call for medevac, and they say, "Well, no, you're in North Korea. We're not coming. That's an act of war. You gotta get to South Korea, then we'll come get you." And they're like, And the worst part is the military tech specialist has the highest rank. And so obviously the highest ranking person is in charge, except he doesn't have any experience being in charge on actual missions. So there's a lot of crazy conflict there, kind of like crazy tech malfunction with my headphones. But
abort. No, let's keep filming. So it was rated R for language and violence. I really felt like both of those could have been worse. I mean, you're going to watch a war movie.
Right.
And so as far as the spectrum, mild to moderate, I would say.
Within the R, I mean, it was
yes.
not gory for the sake of being gory.
Right.
The language seemed, if you're going to have rated R language, it seemed appropriate for the situations for the most part.
Right. It wasn't like their everyday language. It was just like situationally when things were really intense, that kind of R language.
Right.
Who do you think would want to see it?
Well, I mean, not to be Captain Obvious, but if what we just described sounds interesting to you and you don't have a problem with a little bit of rated R language and violence, then I think you'd want to see it. It's pretty well done. We liked it. But, if definitely, I mean, it's rated R. I wouldn't try to sneak kids into it. And it's not for anyone who's squeamish at all about any of that stuff or just doesn't want to hear any swearing at all. I mean, it's in there.
Had some really good moments.
It did. I thought there were some good lines, some good poignant moments. Some of the other people who rated it didn't like it a whole lot. But what did you find on the...
the critics. Those critics are very critical. They're very critical critics. So Rotten Tomatoes has 2 different ways, at least, to judge on their Rotten Tomatoes score. That's the professional critics, the people that they've already have a commitment with them to sign in and to send in their critics, their their reviews.
Right.
That was only like a 23%. That means that what does it mean?
Only 23% of those who saw it had positive things, had more positive than negative to say about it.
That's not good.
Some of these people, if it's not Casablanca or Top Gun Maverick, they hate it.
Yeah.
Why are we wasting our time? This isn't one of the best movies ever.
But the popcorn meter, which is those are the audience members that have actually seen it, 84% liked it. So to me, that's a pretty good score.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half long. I wish it would have been a little longer to develop some of the story and the characters, but overall, like you said, not the best movie made out there, but good, and I liked it.
Well, I gave it an 87 out of 100. I
Yeah.
gave it a solid B plus. So, yeah, we recommend it.
Yeah.
And if you would like to know more about it, then you can watch our movie Post View, which does contain spoilers. Or if you watch it, come check that out and kind of compare and contrast what we thought to what you thought. But for now, we're David and Hillary.
The movie was Valiant One, and that's our preview.